The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It is a wonderful day here on the island of New Providence. It's sunny, and there's a slight breeze that is hot. It is hot, and it is full of good and evil. Today, I'll give you an accounting how forces of evil in the FNM supporters threaten me at the mall at Marathon. Lord Jesus, protect me from the gangsters that has been unleashed, that they intimidated me at the mall at Marathon this afternoon. Also, I wish to announce that a judicial investigation is being conducted against me. My spirit tells me that I am on my way to prison. So don't be upset, don't be shocked. I'm being investigated. Praise the Lord. One investigation is being conducted by lawful authority. And while a lawful authority is conducting an investigation against me, gangsters are also pursuing me. So I'm caught in the midst of the rule of law and gangsters backed by the governing party. Gangsters who showed me their FNM band. So you're going to have to watch me. I may start to do some maneuvers that may shock you, but it's a question of surviving. It is a question of life over death. What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his only soul? Well, the registrar of the Supreme Court of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas has, what is the word? Summons, compel, demanded one of my tapes. And I'm a man who is gifted with the ability to discern. I'm convinced I'm going to prison. I'm going to jail. And what can I do? I've not murdered anyone. I've not raped anybody. Nor have I threatened anyone. And I do not have a contract. But Lord Jesus, you promise to provide protection against me. You promise to provide protection for me. But what is life if there's no struggle? When we return, I'll talk politics. And I will call on Marvin James. Marvin, I got you. I got you, Marvin, many years ago to agree that the police will not kill a man accused of murder. Today, Marvin, protect me from the gangsters in the Free National Movement who now demands my flesh. Marvin, save me from the gangsters who are threatening my life. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back as I stand up.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau. You can join me on iltv.com Facebook, which I am sharing on my Facebook page, Rodney Monker. On Monday, I think I told you, perhaps yesterday, how on Sunday I attended an early mass at St. Joseph Church. And the priest in charge of the church, Monsignor Alfred Kalmer, gave us a powerful sermon, and it lifted my spirit. And then there were wonderful songs. I think I heard them singing this song because I wrote it down. I'm going to read one or two voices to you, because the forces of evil plus the forces of good are putting me under extreme pressure. So I'm under pressure. And so in the coming days, I'm going to be doing strange things. And when I do it, your answer is, Monker is under pressure. Because after all, I'm only human. I'm under pressure. All right? My constitutional rights, they're being threatened. And I have no problem if people criticize. But when you begin in daylight to intimidate and threaten, it becomes a very serious matter. Very, very serious matter. But let me cheer up my emotions. I want to take control of my emotions as I speak to you. There was a voice that goes like this. Look around you. Can't you see? Times are troubled. People grieve, see the violence, feel the hardness. All my people weep with me. Walk among them. I'll go with you. Reach out to them. With my hands, suffer with me. And together we will survive them. Help them stand. Forgive us, Father. Hear our prayer. We would walk with you anywhere. Through your suffering, with forgiveness, take your life into the world. It was uplifting on Sunday. Well, before I give you my personal problems, I'm going to look at the nation's problem. In the Parliament of the Bahamas, an intensive budget debate is taking place. And we have heard the government's revelations and the government's allegation about the abuse of public funds and the misuse of public funds. But in the midst of the allegations which are being launched by Prime Minister Dr. Hubert A. Minnis, is a level of insincerity, a high level of contradictions. For those of you who have been listening to debates or reading the newspaper, you will see that Dr. Minnis has identified a Negro citizen whom he claimed has received $8 million in cleaning up the island. And then Dr. Minnis, in a very interesting, I'll call it twist of fate, began to identify various trading names that the Negro male is alleged, according to Dr. Minnis, to have used in the operation of his business. And then finally, Dr. Minnis identifies a true company, a company that Dr. Minnis claims is lawfully registered. And I submit that Dr. Minnis unlawfully raised the veil of the company and identify the Negro man. What is contradictory about that? Let us also examine the abuse of the PLP as it relates to Dr. Minnis. You would recall that I have consistently hammered over the fact that in 2007, when Hubert Alexander Ingram won his third term, he decided to appoint Dr. Minnis as Minister of Health. Up to that point, Dr. Minnis was in possession of a lawfully constituted contract between the PLP government and himself in the rental of his clinic called Stat Care, which is on the corner of the Lancey and Nassau Street. So it was lawful. Minnis had broken no law, had no reason to declare it, because up until 2007, he was an ordinary citizen. And then the campaign for 2007. And Minnis had a duty then to declare that he had this contract, but he did not. Then he wins, and Hubert Alexander Ingram decided to appoint him as Minister of Health. Dr. Minnis was advised to divest himself of the contract, and he did not. So between 2007 and 2012, Dr. Minnis abused the trust, abused the public finances by unlawfully paying himself for the rental of the building, having been advised by his prime minister to divest. Now, let's examine PLP abuse. The contradiction on the part of Dr. Minnis is that in 2012, the PLP came to power. And Minnis knew when the Christie government decided to unlawfully pay him, it was an abuse. But it was an abuse that was in favor of Dr. Minnis, because the PLP continued to pay him $7,500 a month. Now, if our new prime minister was a man of principle, what would he have done? First, in 2007, he would have divested himself of the contract. Secondly, from 2007 to 2012, in which he was required to do an annual public disclosure, he failed to disclose his interest in the company. Yes, the PLP abused the finances when the PLP unlawfully continued to pay Dr. Minnis, knowing that Dr. Minnis did not get a resolution of the House of Assembly approving the contract. But Minnis knew it was an abuse. Minnis knew it was crookedness, but he kept quiet because he was the recipient of the wickedness. He was the recipient of the crookedness. So you see what kind of man this is? If the PLP is paying him, ain't no abuse. Ain't no abuse. So we are in trouble as he now becomes prime minister and he now lifts the veil of the legitimately constituted company. That is what he has done. And so remember what my argument was. I said that the 2017 election was about the gangsters that you love. I told you that. I told you this had nothing to do with issues, because Dr. Minnis and the Free National Movement never advanced or advocated any philosophical position, any policy position. We didn't know what the heck they were going to do. So here's a prime minister who stands up in the House of Assembly and he tells us that he's exposing abuse. But by grab, when it came to him, and he was benefiting by receiving his $7,500 a month for essentially 10 years. There's no abuse. And to date, he has failed to tell us that he has divested himself of it. And we know that he has not done it because on nomination day, he, for the first time, disclosed that he had this vested interest. So we're in trouble. As Negro leadership, as black leadership, let us down. So, Menace might be speaking the truth. He might have uncovered skullduggery. He might have done that. But in the process, he is never divested. He has never come clean. So he can't talk. He cannot talk because he is just like them. He should have stood up in the House of Assembly and said, now listen, you all know you all shouldn't pay me. You all know what I'm doing is wrong. You all know I should not have this contract. But he kept his mouth closed because his maw was being filled with the people's money. So I ain't listening to him. I'm not listening to him on that. So there it goes. Here is a man who's complaining. And for those of us, watch this country. It is a gangster country. Don't mind these people. Don't mind they say they profess Jesus Christ. These ain't no saved people. Because if they are on your side, they will lie for you and cover up for you. But if they hate you, they will lie on you. And that's what we're faced with. We're faced with a government whose hands are found wanting. We're faced with a prime minister who does not think that it is proper as a black leader to do the right thing. And that is why I've continued to keep him in a category which I now declare to be the King George III Negro list. He's on that. And it is my hope and prayer that he would set an example for young people in the country so that they will know what is the proper thing to do. Once you are elected to public office, there's a proper thing to do. Yeah, something is fundamentally wrong. But it's Menace, the person who is competent to talk about it. When he knows, he said nothing, you know. When the PLP wrongly paid him, he said nothing. He come up with all the kind of argument to justify it. And so, he need to add himself to the list. He need to get up in the House of Assembly and tell the country what sin he has committed when he consistently receive the payment. But we are gangsters. That's what we are. We are a gangster nation. A gangster nation. So I thought I would tell you that. I'm hearing sad reports about the former Member of Parliament for Bainstown and Grandstand, Dr. the Honorable Bernard Nottage. There's been all kinds of things on social media. Some of those things are so scary, I even don't report it. But I'm hearing that he's not well. Some people say he's critical. I don't know. I was at the mall at Marathon, and one lady ran to me, and she gave me an even worse, shocking report. And I told her I was not aware of it, but I'll do everything to find out what is his condition. I do hope that he is still alive, because first there was this report that he had passed away. And the thing about life is all of us one day will pass away. All of us one day will die. And some of us, if I have scripture right, my spiritual advisor is not here, will be taken up in a twinkling of an eye. If only my spiritual advisor was here to tell me whether or not I am quoting Holy Scriptures correctly. But who knows? He did tell me he's coming to work today. So when he comes, I'm going to ask him about that. I really hope that Dr. Bernard Nottage, is not as bad as I am hearing it. I really, really hope it. Because the reality of the matter, despite political differences, he was a nation builder, a man who made a meaningful contribution to the development of sports here in the modern Bahamas. A good doctor, for many people, a good parliamentarian, and of course, in this last election, the majority of the residents of the Bainstown and Grandstown constituency voted against him. So I'm just hoping that I will hear good news. I'm just hoping I would hear good news. Well, when we come back, I will tell you how the police is going to, I have my notes somewhere, you know, every summer the police holds, what do we call it? It's a gathering of the young people, a kind of police summer camp, in which funds are required for the proper running and management. I've heard of some very great companies who have made contribution, and I want to encourage others to continue to contribute to this program because it assists in managing young people during this hot summer, and it keeps them out of trouble. And, you know, it's a very exciting program, and I've gotten some reports that there have been certain churches who has failed to make a contribution to it. And I want churches, you know, to make a contribution. Sometimes you may not have money, but you can send cases of water, cases of soda, cases of juice. You might even offer to have members of a church make sandwiches and donate it to what the police is doing, because essentially you can't have people and at the end of the program there's no food. There has to be food. And I just thought, in view of the fact that in the district of New Providence, I have received certain concerns. So I want all the business communities and all the churches, them, you know, help the police with the summer program. I think it's a very positive thing. And we need to keep our young people, you know, doing constructive things. So that is what I want to say. Well, when I return, I'm going to tell you about the forces of evil and the forces of good. I'm under judicial investigation, and my spirit tells me that I'm on my way to jail for the second time in my life, but pray for me that I may escape prison.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved. Thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And I welcome the many people who have tuned in all over the Bahamas and around the world, because we are streaming live on Facebook. To my wife, I want you to cut off the TV so that my aunt will not hear this. Just find a way to cut off the TV. And to my other aunt, listen, cut off the TV because I'm going to run on. And I don't want you all to be upset. And to my other family and friends, please do not be upset. You know, I do run on. So don't upset. But cut off my auntie TV. Well, the Free National Movement needs a think tank. A think tank is very, very important for a party and for a government. Because there are times when a party might be meeting in council or meeting in cabinet and someone comes up with a silly idea. And you need a think tank to say, listen, that's stupid. Let's not do that. That's criminal. Let's not do that. Many years ago, I happened to be attending an F&M meeting in which there was a question concerning the level of crime, the level of murders taking place in the country. And it was suggested how we could eliminate murderers. And I was shocked when it was suggested that the means by which we could eliminate persons accused of murder was to secretly execute them. By execution, let's say Jeremiah, the murderer, is suspected of committing murder. But he's not been tried yet, you know. He's not gone before a judge and a jury so that he could be allowed to bring his evidence so that we could see if he is innocent or guilty. But the solution was, when Jeremiah is walking down the road, we shoot him. And I jumped up and I said, no, I don't believe in that. I believe that if Jeremiah is accused of a criminal offense, he should be arrested and brought before a court of law. And the prosecution should present whatever evidence that it has that can lead to a conviction. And Jeremiah the murderer should be allowed to present what evidence that he has that might help him in proving his innocence. I've always taken note of that position. And so there are some Negroes who frighten me with their kind of tactics and ideas. I thought I'd tell you that. Today, I was at the mall at Marathon. I have this new habit. If I make $20, I ride to the mall and I buy up a bunch of reading glass. I have that habit. And as I got into the mall, a number of Negro citizens began to greet me and stroke my ego and talk positively about the show. And a man whom I have reason to believe to be a minister of the gospel, he stopped me and he said, listen, I'm going to buy lunch for you. And I said, you're going to buy lunch for me? He said, yes. I said, well, I thank you. And he bought lunch. But as we stood, two Negro males subtly threatened me. And I attempted to see if I could deflect it by turning it into a little laugh and to see whether or not I was able to ease the tension. But I was not able to. And he proudly raised his hand so that I could see his nice F&M band. And I said to him, listen, I'm F&M too, you know. He said, no, you ain't F&M. I said, listen, don't mind I'm cussing out the party. I's F&M. I'll go no further than that. That happened today at the mall at Marathon. And I want to say to the F&M, that kind of tactic should not be encouraged. We live in a democracy. I have a right to dissent. I have a right as a citizen to criticize the government of the day. And if I go overboard, they have a right to do one or two things, and that is take me before the court. But party supporters should never be encouraged to threaten fellow F&Ms and other citizens, because I lived long enough to remember that in 1972, this Free National Movement took one of its supporters in the back of a Paul truck and held a kangaroo court. Didn't allow the man to call no witness. Did not even allow him to seek legal advice. When it was all over, they executed him in the back of a Paul truck. And two men, two Negro supporters of the Free National Movement, went to the gallows. That happened in my lifetime. I was a young teenager, still in high school, when that happened. So I lived a life where in the history of the Bahamas, the Free National Movement has demonstrated that when it has a party member that goes contrary, they take him in the back of a Paul truck and execute. That's what they do. I do not think that the running on that I carry on with, that I deserve to have my life threatened. I don't think so. I mean, I do carry on, and I do run on, but I don't think that's enough. I don't think that the politics should reach a level where we get into gangsterism. I'll settle for a punch. I'll settle for a drop kick. But I think it's gangsterism. We saw it in the 20th century, where a madman took over Germany. And he was a gangster. He had thugs. They took over a whole government. They had thugs. And they killed members of their own party. That happened in the 20th century. And I don't think that the politics should ever raise to the level where we are threatening citizens with harm. I really don't think so. I don't think so. Because we must remember that all of us have the capacity for violence, for lawlessness. And we do not want a society where your politics descends into gangsterism and Nazism and Gestapoism. It shouldn't happen. We should be able to intensively debate an issue without threats. Shouldn't happen. And that's all I want to say. It should not happen. It shouldn't. And I think it is reprehensible that there is this new twist where I could be at the mall at Marathon, where all kind of people are sitting, and that kind of threat can be levied. We have to do better than that, and political leaders must be responsible. If a man criticizes you and you have a problem, defend yourself. But we must never encourage our supporters to resort to lawlessness and gangsterism. I just thought I would say it. And then, of course, my death would be premature. And there's some things I've not done. It's going to sound kind of crazy. There's some things I've not done. So I can't afford to die now, because there's some things I've not done. I've not fixed the roof for my wife to move back home since they've been in my house. I've not put a marker at the grave of my mother and my father and my pa. There are things I want to do before I die. So I don't like people threatening me, because I have boys too, you know. I have friends that I have to constantly mislead when they ask me, did he say this? And I say, he ain't say that, because I don't want nobody to get in trouble for me. And so I want the FNM to stop it. I will not go to Papal tract without a fight. Simple as that. I want you all to stop it. Debate the issues. Counter-attack verbally. But you must not encourage your supporters to resort to unlawfulness. I don't like it. I'm a justice of the peace, and I should be able, like ordinary citizens, to be able to express my political views and dissent without two Negro males approaching me in public, showing me their FNM thingam, and then threatening to move me off the studio. That's wicked. And so it is my prayer that the Lord will cover me. So I got to move fast. I got to move swiftly to do some things, because these Negroes are serious. I just thought I would tell you my experience, and it was a little emotional just thinking about it and saying, wow, look how gangsterism has been re-imported into the politics. It's gangsterism. When you start threatening people and telling them they can't express their views and threatening harm, it is gangsterism. That's what it is. It is Nazism. It's Gestapoism. That's what it is. I don't threaten nobody. I express my views. I know sometimes it upset a lot of politicians, but you do not seize your supporters. You don't do that. That's what I think. You shouldn't do that. So I'll leave that piece alone, having told you that experience that took place in the presence of a man who I have reason to believe is the pastor of a local church. So I'll leave that alone. The Tribune, I want to go to the Tribune because I'll talk about judicial investigation when I return. I got on the other side. The Tribune has to become more responsible in the publication of its newspaper. Yesterday, I had a shock when I saw two Negro males, one of whom was alleged to have been accused of murder. And I was so upset. I said, oh Lord, you mean to tell me he killed too? I was upset. I'm always upset. And then this morning, the Tribune come back and say, no, he ain't killed. Now I want the Tribune them to watch their level of irresponsibility. Because when we start putting people on the front page of newspaper and wrongly reporting that they have been charged with the most serious criminal offense on the criminal calendar, namely murder, you open that citizen to all kinds of things. So we have to be very careful. Let's check our facts when it comes to these serious criminal allegations. Check our facts, because we open innocent citizens to all kinds of tingum. I don't want to say what the tingum is, but you all know what I mean when I say all kind of tingum them, because sometimes you don't want to say things that may implant the wrong ideas, you know. So the Tribune has to be very careful. And I think that the innocent man should have had a huge photograph on the front page of the Tribune saying we are wrong. That's what I think. Because don't forget what kind of society that we are living in today. I don't want to run on too much on it. I don't want to focus too much on it. But the Tribune needs to be more responsible. And when it comes to reporting criminal complaints, criminal charges, make sure you got the right picture. And if there's doubt, the picture could come out the following day. And make sure you got the right name. If in doubt, you hold the story. And it could come out. See, they don't know that I used to help a white man secretly with the Tribune. They had a white man from England. What the white man name? John Marquis from England. And quietly, I used to assist him with his front page. They know. They know. And so there were many nights when I called him and said, Marquis, hold the front page. Monica, what is it now? I said, boy, I got this photograph. It will blow the nation. So you see, ain't many people know where my hands has been. But I can tell you secret because I'm 60. And at 60, I've had opportunities to, play journalism and play editorship. But the Tribune did this Negro male a grave injustice. Grave injustice. I'd be more responsible than that. So, there are things on my mind before I tell you how I'm being investigated. Goodness me, am I not in trouble? Man, gangsters threatening me at the mall while the courts have commenced an investigation. And something just tell me, something, they can send you to jail. Something tells me that. My mind tells me that. So I decided, why go to jail and nobody know? Because in jail, I can need little things. I can need people to bring little things to me to jail and so forth. I've been to prison before. I went to prison at age, how old was I? I was 56 or 54? 56. Now it appears that I'm heading back to prison at age 60. And I'll tell you about it because I have the letter in my possession. Goodness me. You mean to tell me they can send me to jail again? What I do? Oh, Lord. Look how I go into jail. Now, if I go to jail, I wonder how long they'll keep me in jail for. 7 days, 14 days, I don't know. Then if I go to jail, it means somebody can get my job. Because the man mightn't want no jailbird when I come out of jail. He might say, listen, you're a jailbird. How I can manage? And I need this job. Because my roof leaking. And this is the hurricane. And even though when I was in the Senate, I stayed far, I decided the PLP government ain't going to do nothing for me. Not for ministers to stand up in the House of Assembly. They'd been right there calling my name and say, and Rodney Monker, they repair his roof. And I said, no, I'll duck Mother Pratt and Algin and Allen. I smart. It wasn't control no lowness at me. I go work and fix the roof and maybe ask some people to help me fix the roof and add on one room. Because they burned down my house. And the investigation never been solved. Burned down my office. They firebombed my house. It was a good thing me and my wife is sleep hard. Because when they firebomb the first time, we sleep through it. And praise the Lord, it didn't burn down. Just burned down my banana tree. All kind of police came that following morning. And we slept good. So if the house did burn down, I don't think we would feel any pain. Because me and the woman, once we hit the bed, man, we sleep hard. And then a couple years later, they were successful. burn my house right down and just throw me back. Throw me back. Finally, last year, was it last year? Last year or this year, I was finally able to buy a bed for the woman. Can you imagine? To have a whole woman and every night you got to get, what they call it, and spread it on the floor, and you and the woman sleep on the floor because they burn down the house with the double bed and things rough. Boy, they do me bad. Burn down my house. Burn down my house. Then they went and they sabotaged my taxi. Just paint the taxi. Kept me off the road. Finally, I'm beginning to see my way clear where I can be able to get a little cab. It's just amazing what you go through here among these Negroes. Can you imagine it? A man of a high profile like me burn down my house. Nobody care about it. Man of a high profile like me, a former senator, and people are bold enough in the mall at Marathon and threaten. Boy, what a life. What a life. What a country. Can you imagine? When your leading political activist can be threatened at a mall with people right there. One woman started to row the man for me because I refused to row. Woman standing behind me on the line, she started to row. So I look at her and she winked at me that she was one of the women them. She row the fella. But I decided I ain't gonna row, because if a man threatens you in a public place, you better don't row. He's prepared to wail up your backside. And I decided, goodness me, I can't take beating in a public place. But that's what happened to me. And I want the world to know it. And I want Bahamians to know, and I'm serious with it. If you hear that something happens to me, let's forget that. Anyway, it's a wicked country with a bunch of gangsters. Gangsters in politics. They think it's a big joke. Geek, geek, geek. Go intimidate Monka. Geek, geek, geek. They think it's a big joke. They think it is a big joke. Wow. What a country we're living in. When your politics is locked into gangsterism, Nazism. There's nothing to these people. That's why I don't respect them. There's nothing to them. A bunch of gangsters. Gangsters. When you encourage your supporters to intimidate. It's Nazism. It's Gestapoism. That's what it is. These, Democrats. A Democrat is a person who can be tolerant in the political debate. That's what you do. You're tolerant. In the political debate. Yeah. Anyway, what is life without a struggle, eh? What is life without a struggle? What is life? So it's an emotional day that people think that they can get away with it, and perhaps they can, because it is a gangster society. I-60. It is a gangster society. Gangster society. Say they gonna move me off the radio, off the TV. Can you imagine? I now got to tell management they better buy new lock, because I don't want to be on TV. They stormed the studio. Can you imagine? I'm on TV and they stormed the studio. The two Negro males said they can take me off the TV. Wow. What a country. Anyway, if you hear anything happen to me, just help my wife with the funeral, because I break. All right? Then I ain't got no insurance. So you help my wife. Help my wife with the insurance, because I ain't got none. And they're threatening me with their no good self. This is Freedom March. And when I return, I will tell you that in the midst of gangsters threatening me, there is a judicial investigation into me. I'll read the letter when I return on Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Well, I give you a story of gangsters who intimidated me at the mall. Now, I'll give you a story about the rule of law. And so, I'm going to read a letter that was sent here to the studio, because I think the public needs to know. It goes like this. Office of the Judiciary, P.O. Box N167, Nassau, the Bahamas, telephone 242-397-1800, stroke 397-1861. Fax 242-325-6895, Office of the Registrar, 15 June 2017, and it's addressed to the management of Island Luck TV, Thompson Boulevard, Nassau, NP, Bahamas. Dear Sir, I have been directed to request a copy of the transcript from the talk show Freedom March, which aired on Thursday, 8 June 2017. Let me repeat that again. Which aired on Thursday, 8 June 2017. I would be grateful if the copy of the transcript can be provided by 3 p.m. on Friday, the 23rd day of June 2017. Please contact the undersigned at 242-397-1861 or 397-1800. When the document has been prepared, and a court employee will be asked to retrieve it from your office. Your prompt attention to this matter is greatly appreciated. Thank you for your cooperation. Sincerely, Stefana J. Saunders, Miss Registrar Acting. Copy sent to Mr. Stephen Bureau, Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority. So, the Registrar of the Supreme Court, in her letter, she says that she was directed. So it means that maybe the Chief Justice or a senior judge of the Supreme Court might have given her the directive to seize or request the transcript. Now, can you imagine sitting down and having to type everything on that film? Can you imagine? How are they going to translate into Haitian Creole? Laisse-moi parler, nan Creole haïtien. C'est pas possible pour staff là, pour transmettre, pour translate. When I speak in Haitian Creole, the Negroes who work here, they won't be able to translate because missing in the studio, I need a Haitian Bahamian to be working here now. I'm going to demand from management. I need a whole Haitian Bahamian. I mean, that's some good way of creating some job. in the studio. So the registrar wants that whole thing to be transcript. Then what about the numbers them? Sebastian throw number all day. So a part of the transcript, you got to say what ball fall. Can you imagine it? Then suppose Sebastian say the wrong ball fall that day. The court could be mad and accuse them of misleading the court. Because I don't know what all the court want. All right? What ball did they throw on the management? Can you all remember what ball was thrown on the 8th of June? I even don't know what ball they throw because I don't look at the ball. Some of them ball look sinful to me, so I don't look at the ball. So, the court want a whole transcript, which means you need a stenographer. So I said to management, man, send the court the tape. All right? Now, I don't know what the court is looking for. Now, the court never called my name, but as you know, I am the host of Freedom March. So there is an investigation taking place, and I'm troubled because I have rowed out many judges, right? You would recall that last year, at the opening of the Supreme Court, His Lordship, Justice Hartman, Sir Hartman Longley, criticized the educational level of the students. Now, Sir Hartman may have forgotten that last year I turned 60. And one of the things that I have done over my lifespan, I watched the progression of certain young people. And when I look at them, I call together a think tank. And I would say, this person, do we know him? What do you think are his success? So we did that on Sir Hartman. And I was able, more than 30 years ago, to find out his academic qualification. So when Sir Hartman attacked, I responded. And the country was shocked. Sir Hartman couldn't believe that I knew a secret involving his education when he was a student at the then government high school. Let's use Carl Bettel, a current Attorney General. I was able to determine between 1986 and 87 that Carl will one day rise to power in the country because I had him in the back of the bush. And in the course of his debriefing, he said certain confidential things. And then we were able to conclude that, this Carl Bettel one day is going to be a great citizen. So there are things that I know because I'm interested in those kind of things. I identify a fellow and I knew that Michael Pintard would one day be a great man, but I also knew that he was lazy and he would not like farming, even though he was trained in agriculture. So I say all of that to say that over the years, I run on. And then there are stories that I know that they don't like. They don't like when I say how His Lordship smuggled a whole woman through the Bahamas. Now, who told me that? I lie. Now, the man is dead. But Sir Clement Maynard, the father of the former Attorney General, Alison Maynard, he gave me that story. And it was a story that I hid. I hide things. I say, on the day of warfare, I'll throw it at the system. So there are things that I run on that they don't like. Now, I'm not intimidated by the court. I prefer the court to investigate me. I don't think the court will send 2 thugs to intimidate me. The court will have to summons me to court if they think that I've committed a criminal offense or in some way said something that is offensive to the court. Now, usually I get an attorney, depending on the circumstances. But as I prayed last night over this, the Spirit revealed to me that if the court sent for you, go without no lawyer. That's what the Spirit say to me. Don't go with no lawyer. Go before the courts without a lawyer. And if you have sinned, and the court point out your sin, I will throw myself at the mercy of the court. I'm good at doing that. I'm a humble man. I do not wish to offend the court. But I do not wish for the court to curtail my freedom to criticize the court in a responsible manner. In a modern democracy, the court must be able to accept criticism, respectful criticism. It can't be scandal, but the court is justice, and it is our duty to make sure that justice is never stopped in its most vital parts. Never. And I'm always respectful to the courts. In fact, I'm hoping that if I have to go to court, it's before the Chief Justice. He always gives me justice. Every time I argue a case before the Chief Justice, I always win. I always win. In fact, I win so much, I became uncomfortable that when he ruled against me in a case, my friends thought I was crazy when I said, praise the Lord, when he ruled against me. So you got to watch it for me. Quietly, when the government them ain't looking, I slip before a court. I just been before the Supreme Court in 2013. Quietly, took out an application, went before then Justice John Isaac on a very powerful matter. And in his judgment, he opened a Pandora box. And I smiled. I lost the case, but I walked out victoriously because he answered a mystery. And one day, in the fullness of time, when we are talking about judicial reform, I shall refer to it, and there will be citizens who would be shocked. They didn't know that I quietly slipped into the court on an important matter and argued the case myself. All right? But I respect the judicial system, and I respect all judges of the Supreme Court. And it's not my intention to be offensive or disrespectful. Because don't forget, I'm a justice of the peace. And a justice of the peace under Section 5 of the Magistrate Act is a quasi-magistrate. And therefore, we are to be lawfully obedient to a higher court and a higher judge. And I've always done that. I've always done that. So there is a judicial investigation. And I have the gift of going off in the spirit. And I go off. My wife sometimes, when I go off in the spirit, she wonders what is going on. I said, woman, I'm going off in the spirit. You just relax. All right? Just relax. I'm going off in the spirit. So I've gone into the spirit, and it has revealed to me that they are trying to send me to jail. And guess what? I will do what I always do. Last time I discovered that when magistrate was trying to send me to jail, I said, my pa was dead, my ma was dead, my grandma was dead, my grandpa then was dead. I think I'll go to jail. And I went to jail at 56. Can you imagine? I only had one terrible experience. When I was being held at the police station on Nassau Street, there was a young guy that I always talked to. And when he saw me, he said, Monica, you lock up? I said, yes, I'm locked up, and you don't got to worry about me ever telling you to do good things. Because you are locked up, and I'm locked up. So I ain't going to say that to you no more. That was the worst part about that at the Nassau Street police station. And then the other problem was they had me in a cell next door to a man accused of murder. And boy, when he saw me, because, you know, I'm committed to hanging murderers, he began to cuss me out. But the good thing was the police had me in my own cell. And as he cussed me out, there were some young men. And I overheard one with a French name. And it was then that I went off in Haitian Creole. And I asked them to help me. And by grab, I hollered, Fouille-moi yo haïtien! Aidez-moi, parce que anglais ça a! And when I told them to help me, because that Bahamian guy was parleying, I can't say it in Haitian Creole because everybody in the Bahamas would know that dirty word if I said it in Haitian Creole. And when they heard me, they looked at me, they said, Monka, are you one of us? I said, yeah, man. You don't know my name? Monka. And they cursed him stink. May God bless the Haitian Bahamians who rescued me at the Nassau Street Police Station and cursed the man who was trying to threaten me. So, there's a judicial investigation. I'm breaking the story. I don't know where it will lead, but wherever it leads, I shall peacefully follow. I've done nothing. I ain't killed nobody. I ain't threatened nobody. I ain't raped nobody. I do curse in foreign tongues, and I have been critical of the system. And in a democracy, there must be criticism of the judiciary. And I still maintain that I believe that our judiciary ought to be treated similar to how it is done in the United States, where a judge, an applicant who wants to be a judge of our high courts should be subjected to parliamentary investigation so we could know what manner of person this is. Is this judge a born-again Christian? Is this judge saved? Does this judge worship false god? What kind of judge this is? What is the judge's views on birth control pills? Does the judge believe in abortion? Does the judge believe in hanging? You want to know about the judge. And then, at the end of the day, that's how it's done in the first world. That's how they do it in America. Ain't no judge slip through. You want to know if the judge ever harassed and all kind of things. Remember, they had one judge. A woman come forward and say every time she saw the judge used to put question to her. And when the Americans heard that his lordship was putting question to the woman, they almost bailed up his backside. But he was able to escape them because the Americans don't like you to put question. You know, in the Bahamas, we used to put little question, but the Americans, you know, it's a first world country, and they don't like you to put question. Although I believe that question ain't too bad. Because without question, how, as the Haitian would say, for bagay, how you gonna do things? That's what for bagay mean. Welcome to Freedom March.
God save the Queen, Senator.
God save the Queen, but don't say nothing out of the way about the courts.
No, now, Senator.
Yes?
I know your works.
Oh, praise the Lord.
How you have exposed corruption, how you have stood up for the little man, how you have labored tirelessly in this country. But I have somewhat against you.
Okay.
I feel because of your dislike or whatever you have for the new prime minister, even when he was opposition leader, your vision has become tunneled.
I love the prime minister. I have nothing personally against him.
But your vision, sir, has become tunneled.
Help me.
Where you only focusing now, in my opinion, on the FNM and its ministers, and you allow the PLP to get away with all kind of nonsense.
Well, can you hold on for 1 second?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall what happened to the PLP on the 10th of May, 2017?
Yes, I can recall.
What happened to the PLP?
They got what, in my opinion, I felt that they deserved, put it out of office.
Repeat that 2 more times. What happened to them?
Put it out of office.
1 more time.
Put it out of office.
And who is the government now?
The present government is the Free National Movement.
And who, as a citizen, should I make accountable?
The Free National Movement government.
And I put my case. That is all I'm doing. I'm making sure that the FNM does the people's work.
Now, allow me to put this to you, sir.
Go ahead. You got 2 minutes.
You defended Mickey Isaac the other day when he made what a lot of people were saying was a racial comment at Perry Christie's resignation, whatever they call it. Remember now?
Speak, my brother, speak.
But in my opinion now, Mickey Isaac wasn't mad that the black people voted against the PLP. He was speaking out of grief for that contract. Yeah, $2 million a year. That's what I feel he was speaking of. Now, Mr. Monka, I can hang up right now, but I want to leave this with you.
I want to stop you before you hang up.
Okay.
What is wrong with Minky Isaac getting a $2 million contract and Menace got $7,500 a month? Or how much million is that?
See, you keep throwing Menace.
Answer that question, my Negro brother.
All is wrong.
No, one is wrong. Menace is wrong. If Minky Isaac, I want Menace to tell me that Minky Isaac wasn't qualified.
Minky Isaac know how to clean up early.
What is... Goodness me.
Anyway, Mr. Manka.
Anyway.
Mr. Manka.
Go ahead, comrade.
Before I hang up, I have to leave this with you.
Leave it with me.
Now, the dogs of political war are now barking at your door.
That's war? In a democracy?
Yes,
threats?
But I want you to understand.
Threats? Hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
You are endorsing threats?
No, I'm not endorsing that.
But that is what happened to me at the mall at Marathon in the presence of a pastor.
Yes, I'm acknowledging it. I'm not endorsing it. Please hear me out.
Oh.
And for whatever reason, your spiritual advisor is, in my opinion, trying to stem a little ways off here as close as he used to be. But I want you, sir, to remember Psalms chapter 27.
Psalms chapter 27.
Write that down.
Okay.
You see? And remember, Mr. Manka, you have an army of the woman them, and they could pray. Call on the women them who know the virtue of prayer to pray for you, because the forces of evil, like you often say, is coming against you.
Well, we shall resist them in Jesus' name. I thank you.
Call on the women them to pray.
I thank you. God save the Queen.
Psalms 27.
I got your Psalms. Welcome to Freedom Match.
Good afternoon, Mr. Munker. How are you doing today?
I am fine.
Mr. Munker?
Yes?
I just need you to read Psalms 91 and just remember who God kept is well kept.
I thank
no weapon formed against you will prosper. And this is Gino's mother-in-law. Mr. Munker?
Yes?
Psalms 91.
I have it. I thank you.
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen.
Yes, enjoy your day, darling.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Freedom March. Okay. Where is our phone? Because when I come back, we're going to open the line, and I want no one calling to criticize the fact that I am under judicial investigation. I prefer the court to investigate me, because whatever the court does will be lawful. But I have problems with Negro thugs, with F&M ban, threatening me in a public place. Goodness me. Can't you threaten me when you see me by myself? It is too contentious, and it's horrible to be threatening a 60-year-old citizen in a public place. Well, it's gangsterism. Gangsterism. And in the 20th century, we saw a madman who came to power lawfully, Adolf Hitler. And when it was over, we had World War II, and we had over 6 million of God's chosen people to have been butchered and murdered. And I see the same kind of thuggery. It is my prayer that these people will change their wicked ways and stop the thuggery and the threats. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I welcome the many people who is joining us around the world, okay? And of course, here in the Bahamas. I'll read you quickly one or two texts, and let's see what we have here. Goodness me. Good afternoon, Senator. My name is Dondra Kimberly McPhee. I'm from Freeport. I applied for my unemployment with National Insurance since April 22nd of this year. I was told check back May 26th. I did every week since I was given a story. Today I was told since I applied for my unemployment a month, 2 months later, after for being unemployed, my papers have to go in front of a committee to be proved. Senator, I've never of anything so. Every week is something new with national insurance and social services. I really need your assistance. You're the only one who cares for your Negroes. Wow. Wow. What is the state minister name for national insurance? My Negro friend, who me and Papa and him is hang out together. Brensel, come on. Don't subject black people to this level of indignity. Come on. Goodness of mercy. Y'all ain't got no heart. The poor people need assistance. And we know things are hard in Grand Bahama. So quickly get down there, send the National Insurance Board Committee, and get social service kicking, man. These are people. Goodness of mercy. I mean, it's like if the devil has taken over the F&M. Oh, boy. Mr. Monker, the young people of Central, North, and South Eleuthera that was hired by the former government are being treated badly by this new government. They are not being paid, haven't been paid from April. Therefore, Mr. Monker, I need you to please help us to get pay. Thank you, sir. Oh, boy. Listen, it's the people's time. You all have a heart. Have a heart, man. The majority of the Bahamian people voted for the F&M. So it got to be some of these people. So for heaven's sake, man, move swiftly and help them. Give me a call. Oh, boy. It's just amazing. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker. How are you?
I am fine, my dear.
Mr. Monker.
Yes?
I'm calling you about the guys in the mall this afternoon that threatened you.
Yes.
Mr. Monker, they threatened you in front of all those people. They didn't respect the pastor. They didn't respect you. And they definitely don't respect the law. Because they're not scared. And I always tell my husband, I say, you know something? I said, this man need to be careful. I said, because he's speaking out so much truth, people cannot take the truth. I said, they soon handcuffed Mr. Monk and he disappear. You need to be careful. Honestly.
I shall be careful.
Yeah, because
and I shall
haters, a lot of haters. They hate the truth.
That my fate continues to push me forward. Okay? I thank you for your kindness.
Thank you.
Please pray for me. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? 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 Speak to me. Hello? Well, I'm not hearing that person. You better give me somebody else. Hello, how are you all? Please say no killing and lying on people. Don't turn off water nor electricity, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Good day, Mr. Monka. We still have not been paid for May and June. For May, and June is soon due. Bills need to be paid. Still no answer from Roads and Park. This is not right, and nobody cares about us and our families. They might as well pay us for June sometime as May, but I doubt that. Shame, it's not the people's time. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Mr. Monka, my mother is one of the women them, and she just called me crying for you because she don't like to know one fooling with you. Wow. Tell your mother things are going to turn out good. It was emotional as well for me to see that the country is descending into gangsterism, where people think it's cool to threaten citizens over politics. Goodness of mercy. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Speak to me. Hello? Hello? You better give me another caller. That person isn't answering. Hello?
Hey.
Sir.
Good day, Mr. Monka.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, man. Sorry to hear what happened to you at the mall today.
Yeah, thugs. They think.
Hey, but listen, Mr. Monka, the unemployment too, right? I applied for mine too, right, under the PLP administrator.
What happened?
Administration, right?
What happened under the PLP?
You don't want to hear that.
Oh, what you mean I don't want to hear it? Tell me what happened.
They run me up and down. They treat me like I was nobody.
Well, they're wrong. Were you qualified for it?
I heard the text from the other. Yes, I qualified. I heard the text from the other. What you write from the other fella, and I don't think it's under the F&M government.
What?
You know, we got to be real. We got to be real with things, Mr. Monka.
Let me be clear. She said she just recently applied. Who's in charge of the country?
Yeah, but
Answer that
the
question
F&M ain't really they in charge, but all of those departments ain't really sorted as yet. It's still, you know, they ain't get there yet to say to put the blame on the F&M.
So the F&M must issue a statement and say, listen, we ain't get there yet. You don't think an explanation ought to be offered? Come on.
Yeah, but come on, Senator. You know, you got to be fair. You got to be fair about things.
Listen, the man who's...
You listen to you and you talk about the F&M all the time.
The man who... I want you to hear something for a second. Listen to me for a second. The man who's the state minister for national insurance, do you know who he is?
Brenton Road?
Me, him, and Papa, listen to me. This is a man that I cannot hate. Me, him, and Papa. Me and Papa love him. The last meeting I had with Mr. Ingram, me and Mr. Ingram and him were supposed to go in the constituency to campaign for him. This ain't no man I hate. Papa loves him. I loves him. But I want him to get up and deal with the people. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, but Mr. Monka, listen, you can't let these salty PLP put words in your mouth, you know. Listen, I respect you highly, you know, and I love you, and I love you because, you know, you just speak the truth. But when you let salty PLP do these things, of course, you turn against the F&M. It's wrong, Mr. Monka. Come on.
No, there's a point that you're missing. If we know that in Grand Bahama, things are rough. We know that. That's why Grand Bahama went F&M.
Yeah, but you know how the government procedure work. The government, they just doing the budget.
Just
offer them. You smart, hey, but you very intelligent, you know.
But you're missing the point.
Listen, use your smartness. Use your smartness for good, not negative.
And I'm suggesting...
Because you know how the system works.
Yes, but I'm suggesting that the government must give them an explanation. If what you say is the correct position...
That's true. That's
what I'm saying.
Fair for true. Take it out of... Yeah.
Take good care.
Oh, okay, you do, sir.
Thank you. All I'm saying is answer the people. If you ain't get around to paying out social service assistance, tell them, welcome to Freedom March. Goodness of mercy. Hello? Hello? Well, you better give me another person. Sir?
I'm just calling in, the first time caller.
I thank you.
You know, I keep listening to the F&M carrying on with this budget, especially Bannister. You know, all I am saying, if they have investigated all of these departments, all of these wrongdoings, all of these millions and millions of dollars being missing, why don't they automatically just make a case out of it because they're going to show us that they have information? And I personally believe why they're doing this thing is they're trying to use psychology on the people, the Bahamian people in general, because they know all of these promises that they've made. They're trying to irritate, get the people all riled up against the PLP to hate, and take their minds totally off of all that they were saying with the goods they were going to do for the people when they get in. The people stand. So they know they can't do it like that, so they say, well, we got to get the people, and, you know, we got to keep the people because... So that's why they're doing this.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I thank you for calling. At the end of the day, they're going to have to find a way to take care of the people.
That's right.
And if they have a case against the PLP, I say step now.
That's right.
And let's go to court.
Take it to court.
Take good care of
and
my
let
brother.
it go into the court and let the court judge.
Amen.
Right.
Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Mr. Monica?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you today?
I am fine, praise the Lord.
That's a beautiful shirt you're wearing, and I just love that bow tie.
Wow, you think it match?
Absolutely. Is
but
that a signature?
I told some Negroes in here when they were complaining about the mix matching, I said, listen, I think it's cool. You've confirmed it. What's on your mind?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely nothing apart from the fact that I certainly don't think you ought to worry about those thugs.
I shall not.
Okay, wonderful. I'm calling as a Bahamian.
I thank you for your concern.
Have a wonderful day, sir.
God bless you.
God bless you, too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Yes, what's on your mind?
I wanted to talk to Monica.
This is Monica. This is Monica. Speak.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
My Grammy likes to listen to you on TV, and she just wanted me to call. I am 8 years old, and we love to watch you every day, and we wanted to tell you to keep up the good work and to don't go to jail.
I thank you, and tell Grammy I love her, and I'm excited that she has permitted you to call. Tell her I shall pray not to go to jail. Okay?
Yes, sir. Have a nice day and keep wearing your colorful ties.
I thank you very much. You are so kind. God bless you, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye-bye. Welcome,
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Sir, what's on your mind?
Rodney, it's Andrew Allen here. How are you doing, Rodney?
Hey, Andrew Allen. How are you?
Not bad at all.
Okay.
Firstly, I want to agree with the point you made earlier to the caller who suggested there's a comparison between Dr. Minnis drawing this $7,500 a month and Minky Isaacs or anybody else getting a contract.
Right.
There's no comparison.
Okay.
The one isn't wrong until you can demonstrate either that Mr. Isaacs was not fit for the contract.
Yes.
Or that government we didn't get value.
That is true.
Until you can do either of those things, there's nothing on its face wrong.
Right.
There's something on its face wrong with Dr. Minnis earning $7,500 or $90,000 a year from the government as a tenant and $66,000 a year as a minister.
You're the first Negro I have found who agree with me.
Well,
I don't understand it.
lot.
Let me ask you a question. Please forgive me. It's a kind of personal question. Are you the son of a former minister of finance?
You know that I am, Rosie.
Wow. God bless you, eh? I thank you for your kind comment and support.
Well, first of all, I'm a Bahamian.
Yes.
And secondly, I'm somebody who has to say things as I see them.
Yes.
And be fair where I see it.
Yes.
To hear the current Prime Minister, weigh in on this issue of of corruption, and
wow,
it is wrong. It is sickening. It is beyond. It is. We have had perhaps the most dishonest campaign run.
I've never seen nothing like this in all my life.
Now we're moving into a territory where, government ministers, MPs, sit up there in Parliament and spend all the people's time where they should be preparing the new program.
Yes.
Slaughtering people's reputations.
Wow.
Non-political people, private people.
Yes.
It's wrong.
This F&M is wicked. Wow. I thank you very, very much. God bless you, eh? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Rodney.
All right. Here is this young man. He's the son of a former F&M Minister of Finance. Goodness of mercy. Do I have another call? Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Okay. That was the son of William Allen, Sir William. And here is a young man who's very objective. He can look at his father's party and support a sober position, which is Minnis is in a conflict of interest. He's accusing the PLP. You see, if I was in Minnis' position, I would have gotten up and said, now, y'all PLP, which in the no good self, y'all was wrong to join me in my corruption and pay me. Y'all pay me, eh? And then case them out. But he wouldn't admit to it. Do I have a caller? Welcome to Freedom March.
Hey, how you doing, Monica?
I'm here, sir. How are you?
Yeah, you're not angry today.
Well, I was a little emotional because the devil met me at the Marlett Marathon. What's on your mind?
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say I heard a call a little while ago, and people in Nassau and other part of the Bahamas don't know anything about Freeport.
Wow.
When they want to find about Freeport, come to Freeport.
Are you in Freeport?
What Freeport is all about.
Are you in Freeport?
Yes, I am.
What is the condition?
Voice, everybody know who I am.
What is the condition?
So I just say it like that. We got people in Grand Bahama right now who houses is leaking like it's raining inside the house.
That can't be true.
I'm telling you, I live in an area where my house is leaking right now.
Wow.
But my thing is, I only waiting on time. I know they knew in it, and I'm gonna give them a chance to see if they can come to work with me because I'm willing to work with them.
Let me ask you a question. What constituency do you live in?
In that position.
What constituency you live in? I'm just interested.
I can tell you like it is, and everybody know who I am.
Okay.
I live in an area called Pioneers Loop.
Who's your MP?
Oh man.
Come on, tell me.
Marco City.
That's Michael Pintad?
Yep, that's my boy.
Well, I'm going to case him out for you.
No, case him out. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
Okay, then. So your roof should be...
Should be. What'd you say?
Okay. Take it care, and thank you.
Mr. Mr. Bunko, before you go,
yes.
Let's remember now, those who laugh last, laugh best.
That is true.
Okay, guy.
Wow. Do I have another caller, hey? No calls? Isn't it amazing? The condition in Freeport. How many seats were in Freeport? 5! 5 seats. And the PLP lost all of them. The F&M got them. And look how they're sitting down, pussyfooting, just running on. If you know that the PLP is guilty of a crime, charge them. But meanwhile, what time is it? What time is it? And y'all think y'all could intimidate me so I can't talk for the people, eh? I'm going to speak for the people. Because it's the people's time. And these are our people. And we know that the economic condition in the country has been horrible. And people need assistance. We need a government who's going to give us not only help, but hope. And that's what is so important. Somebody on the phone? All right, then we'll stop signaling me. So, it's powerful what is taking place. All kind of allegation, and the chief culprit. Can you imagine it? These Negroes don't have any shame, man. All my life, if I had to discuss an issue in which I had a conflict, I had to declare it. I did it all my life. Listen, you see that topic? I am conflicted. I'm conflicted. And I declare the conflict. One day, I declare a conflict. my brothers them start rowing when they saw me. They said, you mustn't say what the conflict is. It was kind of, you know, but I said, but I had to. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Rodney Manco?
Sir?
Yeah, Bumble.
Bumble from Foxhole?
I don't know, them fellas making so much noise, right? Making so much noise. Now, minister, they find a lot of money. The government said yesterday, they said they find us a lot of money. And, you know, 50-60% of that problem with the doggone the thing was went off.
Yes.
Was everybody saying the parent thief the money.
Not my cousin.
But now they find the money, and nobody's saying, well, they was wrong.
Well, not only that, I know where they could find some more money.
I'm saying they rally every time they go. They were talking about the what money, they keep the what money, and now they find the what money. And just like minute just say, well, the what money went this place, and the gentleman yesterday said the what money was wasted here, but they find the what money.
They find the what money.
It seemed like they raised 90% Cain and 10%. Yeah, I find it.
Yeah, they were just lying. Don't forget what kind of democracy we live in. Democracy can be wicked. You mislead the people. You give them half-truth. You tell them a bunch of lies. You put hate in their heart. Just hate. Because the FNM would not have been able to win unless they accused the PLP of stealing. And that the what gone.
I agree with you 100%.
But
Mr.
they better
Montel.
tell us where the man is next month.
You know, I watch your show. I'm on my cell phone, so I don't stay too long. But you're doing a damn good job. You know, I got your back.
I thank you.
I mean, I'm a little older than you, but you know.
Yeah. Well, we want.
I don't want nobody bother with you like that.
Well, pray for me, okay? So
okay, man. You take care. Do a good job.
God bless you. I have another caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rodney Monta.
Sir.
How close you and Mr. Brent Simonet close?
Say that again?
You and Mr. Brent Simonet.
I know.
You are close?
I know him.
I need a job.
Okay.
Tell him give him a job with that nice big boat. We're going to Governor's Harbor now. We're full of all them containers over there.
Brent got a boat?
I need a trailhead driver job on that. To put the containers off and on. Load it off and on. You could talk to him for a job for me?
Listen, I have his fax somewhere here. You call me tomorrow? And I will teach you how to fax him up.
No, I can't say fax. I can say it other way, but I won't say it.
Listen to me. I'm a justice of the peace.
Yes, I understand. As I won't say it, but I want you to talk to them for me.
I'll try my best.
If you're the justice of the peace, tell him give me a job. I'm one of the best railhead drivers in the Bahamas.
Okay, then. I thank you very much.
I need a job.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
God bless
you. Work on that for me.
I can see what I can do.
I will give you something. No one will give you nothing, but I will give you something.
Okay. Thank you.
I will make sure you're straight.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. But call me back tomorrow so I can get your name.
It's the people's time. So
okay. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mankar. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Oh, you look so lovely today.
Well, I thank you very much.
Okay. I call you to give you some good encouragement words.
Okay.
You don't let nobody intimidate you. And you're the best in the Bahamas because you're informing the black people.
Yes.
About what's going on in the Bahamas. They're trying to keep them in the dark. But you don't let them get to you. And always remember, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you be good and keep doing what you're doing.
I thank you.
You don't let nobody intimidate you.
I thank you.
And I always watch you. I come home in the afternoon to watch you.
This is powerful. Thank you very much, eh?
Okay, and you be encouraged now.
I shall.
Okay, darling.
God bless you. Oh, well, it's been a spirited conversation between members of the public and myself. And we have to keep Freedom March on. So I'm going to need people to contact this studio and take out some advertisement. The people them here say, if I could get some advertisement, they can give me a little bit more money. And I need to repair this roof. So I want you all to come here. I want business people to come here. And when you all come, you say to Sabbats and them, listen, we're going to sponsor and give Monka some of the money. All right? Just come. Because we have to keep this voice open. This is the opposition. Don't forget, all the other radio them and newspaper them, they oppose to the opposition. And you got to have an opposition because there are wicked men who have been elected. I know them. I sat with them. I'm still a member of the party. They would wish that I would quickly go. All right? But I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my time. So we have to keep Freedom March on the air. And the only way we can do it is by good sponsorship. And I need a couple of more dollars because the hurricane is coming. And the woman keeps saying to me, listen, the roof is leaking and we need another little room. You see? So come here and support. Just bring plenty ads. Ads. And if you can't come with ads, fax them here. You all have fax machine? I can't believe a big time TV station like this ain't got no fax machine. Tell management I need a fax machine. Because the way I intend to deal with these F&M threat is to just fax them up and then send them fax. They don't know me. All right? It's a new warfare. It's called faxing them. And I will prepare to fax them. All right? So that is what it is going on in the country. And I thank God for life, good health, good family, good friends, and the vast and the mass majority of the people who are law-abiding. And I call on ministers and his government to speak to your supporters because thuggery will get us nowhere. It will get us nowhere. It will get us nowhere because I am a stand-up Negro. I want y'all to stop intimidating me because I am prepared to stand up. Stand up for democracy. Stand up for justice. Stand up for freedom. No violence. No bloodshed. Freedom is a must. And I demand freedom and protection.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.